all, my name is Brad and welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. So today I was thinking about drawing a... Can you hear that? Sorry. Yeah, it's been going on all day. There's been construction right outside my treehouse and it's been really loud. Now even though it's a little distracting, I will say there are some really cool machines out there. They even have my favorite one out there and it's called the EXCAVATOR. You might have also heard them called diggers or backhoes. Excavators can do the same job that it takes lots and lots of construction workers to do, like digging, lifting and moving really heavy materials, and demolishing things because of some really cool features that they have. Like they have this really long arm that is incredibly strong, which is actually made up of 3 parts. You have the boom, the arm, and the bucket. And then if you'll notice, they don't have wheels, they have 2 sets of tracks like a tank that make it so that they don't get stuck. And then in most of them, in the cab where the operator sits, they can go 360 degrees. They can rotate all the way around. Pretty cool, huh? Well, there's a lot more that we can learn about excavators, but to be honest, I really just want to start drawing. How about you? Awesome, okay, well we can learn more on the way, so let's go ahead and start drawing. All you're gonna need is a clean sheet of paper, a nice sharp pencil, an eraser, a dark marker or a pen, and of course, something to color with. All right, so let's go ahead and get started drawing our excavator. Now take your paper, lay it on its side because we need to draw this in a landscape format, that's what we call it. And because we're gonna have the main cab and the tracks and everything of our excavator on this side because we have to make room for the boom and the arm and the bucket on this side. So we'll start right over here. But first, let's draw our ground because we want to make sure everything's kind of flat on there because I think maybe it'd be fun to add some dirt and whatnot. So let's start by drawing the ground. We're going to draw a little line across here. And it can be kind of lumpy and imperfect because it's the ground and they're typically in dirt. So you get a pass there. All right, so let's go ahead and start with the tracks. Now the tracks may seem a little tricky to draw, but I'll show you a really easy way to do it. Let's start with a big circle right here. I'm gonna draw lightly until I feel like I got the right tracks, the right circle size. Okay, I think that's about good. Now, when I like it, I'm gonna kind of outline it one last time at the right size that I like. Right there, okay. Now, if you need to erase some of that stuff in the middle, it might be easier once you're happy with your circle. All right, so then we're gonna do the other part of the track right here. We're gonna do another circle right here. Now again, lightly until I kind of slightly grow it until it's the right size. Okay, cool. I think that's about right. Now one other trick too is don't wiggle your wrist around to draw circles as much. You might see me do it a little bit, but I try to move my whole arm if possible. It just makes it easier. All right, so now we're gonna draw a slightly smaller one in between. Or inside, not in between, inside here. So let's draw our circle right here. And again, doesn't have to be perfect because circles are really hard to get perfect anyways. There we go. All right, so what the heck are we doing here? They don't have wheels, right? You're right. They do have a track though, so we gotta connect these. Just like a tank, we gotta take the top of this, connect it to the top of that one. So just draw a line across there. We already have one down here, so we don't need to do that. Now we're gonna do the same thing with this line right here. We're gonna take it and move it across to match up with the top of that other circle. Same thing with the bottom. Oops, kind of go like that. You see what we did? Now we drew the whole outline of our track without having to try to do that by hand, freehand. That's pretty tricky. So now what we can do is we can erase the insides of our track. The inside. We don't need that circle anymore. Basically, we were just drawing those shapes to make sure that we get our really complex shape, our harder shape to draw. It just kind of gave us the framework for it. So now if you look, so instead of drawing all the way through that circle, just connect where we connected the top there. That line, and now you'll see that we drew the track. Okay, now do you see it? So we erased all the circles in the middle and we just are left with the track. Now, if you want to, I'm gonna draw the track black, so I'm not really worrying too much about when I add the treads on here, what they look like, but I'm gonna draw like little rectangles all the way around. And there we go. Now I'm gonna leave the bottom without the treads just because they're in the dirt. No one needs to see those, and we can save ourselves some time. All right, so now in the middle of here, there's a lot going on to make these things work. We're just gonna simplify that a bit. So I'm just gonna draw one circle right here. And then I'm gonna draw a big long rectangle looking thing right over here. A lot of times they put something like this in there anyways because it helps protect all the inner workings of that tread there, or of the track system. So there you go. We don't need to make that too complex for ourselves, too hard. All right, so let's put the cab on here and the engine, where they put the engine on this thing. Okay, so we're gonna do that by just adding a line right about here and maybe a line right about here. Just so we have something that it's gonna swivel on, right? It's gotta swivel on that. It's gotta attach itself. And then we're gonna draw a line, a horizontal line right here, right across here to be the bottom of our cab. All right, now we're gonna go up. We're gonna draw a straight line up. We're gonna draw on this side, we're gonna draw not so high, just draw like a small one right about there. Because what we're gonna do is we're gonna take that and we're gonna angle it for the windshield right there. There we are. Cool. All right, now we're gonna go across. It's pretty easy, right? Just a few basic shapes. Just a few lines here. Then we're gonna go down. And then we're gonna go over and connect this. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna make this a little taller. There we are. And now this doesn't have to be perfect. I'm just making this up. If you've seen excavators, they come in all different sizes too. So chances are you're not doing it wrong. You're just doing a different type of excavator. Or you're making up your own, which is even cooler. Excavators can actually come in a lot of different sizes. Like, look at this tiny one I saw earlier today. It's so tiny. And then compare that to the biggest one in the world. Look how huge this is. All right, so what are we missing on here? Yeah, you know what? We need to do the window and the door and all that stuff. So let's actually start by doing a little diagonal line. Let's separate the engine area from the door and the cab, where the cab is where the construction worker sits in there and operates it. All right, so we'll do these little lines right here to kind of separate that. And we'll even do a little line over here. Just another detail. Just another fun little detail. And then I might round off some of these things on the corners. Then you can just erase the corners. You can just erase the corners off of there. Make it a little smoother. And then let's go and let's draw the door that they have to get into, right? So we'll draw straight up and down. We'll go over. We'll just follow the inside. We'll just follow the lines of the shape here. We'll just do it on the inside. We'll go down and we'll go over. See, look at there. We got ourselves a little door. Oh, we got to put the little door part. Let's do that. Let's do a little line here to separate the door. And then there's like a little tiny window maybe. We'll put a little tiny window in the back just so they have better visibility. That way they can see stuff a little bit better. All right, cool. All right, so we got the cab done. And then maybe, oh, you know what? I want to round the top off here. More rounding off. This is just more me just wanting it to look a certain way. You can make it look however you want. Now over here, if you want to add like a cool little logo, make up your own logo, that'd be fun for what kind of excavator company this is. And then I'm going to do, or brand of excavator. I'm going to do some lines here to kind of show little vents or whatever for the engine right here. So there's an engine in here that powers a pump. Well, the engine powers the track system, but it also powers the pump that will feed the liquid, the hydraulic fluid throughout the boom arm. Or sorry, the boom and the arm to make it operate the way it wants to. We'll talk more about that in a second. Alrighty, okay, we got this now. We have a lot of room over here, right? You left room? Perfect. So now we gotta go over here and we gotta add this boom. So we're gonna go up like this, draw a little line, and then we're gonna draw another line right about here. And it can be kind of thicker. It can kind of go, it could taper to be a little bit thicker if you want. But that looks about right. This is actually connected to a little section on the other side. It looks different on the opposite side. You'll have to check out other excavators. This is just the side that you get in. And then we're gonna round this off a little bit. We're just gonna do a little curve. All right, so I can curve, I'm gonna maybe start the curve over here. Curve that over, because we gotta put the arm on here. And then we'll do a line. We'll do another line right over here. Let's do this, line. Maybe get a little bit thinner. Maybe a little longer. I'm just kind of guessing here. If you need to draw a little circle at the end to kind of get that right curve on there, you can totally do that. There we go. I think that looks good. All right, now we're going to draw a line. We got to draw the arm. So this is the boom, and then we got to draw the arm. So I'm going to draw a line kind of going right back here. Let's see. That looks about right. Yep, just draw a line right back there. Then we're going to draw the other part of the arm on this side, like that. And then I'm just going to do a little angle and then connect it. Maybe even connect that at a different angle here so it kind of matches the boom. There we go. Now we got to make sure those connect, so we're going to add a little joint there. We'll just draw a little circle. That way it makes it look like it's all connected, right? Now we're going to add a lot of details. You can not add that many details if you want. And you can just keep it really simple. So I'll show you. We'll draw the boom, we'll draw the arm, and then we can draw just the bucket if we want to put on here as the last thing that we do in terms of details for this, this boom and arm. But I'll show you more details if you want to keep going. All right, so we got that. Then we draw those little teeth that it has, or little claws that it has. Oh, that looks really cool. Look at that. We did it. All right, so now I'm going to draw some more details. So if you are done and you're like, hey, this is enough detail for me, then you go ahead and you can add some construction workers. You can add some piles of dirt or whatever else you want to do, the sun. You can go ahead and draw the rest of your scene while the rest of us add a little bit more detail. And this part's kind of fun because it's showing you how it works and how it's connected with all these hydraulics. So let's start adding some of those pieces now. I'm going to do a circle right up here to kind of show, these are all just points of connection. And then we're going to draw a little piece right over here that connects to here. And it's going to have a little dot in the middle of it. Same thing on this side. These are all just different things that need to connect to things to make it so that it can articulate or move. The way that they're doing it here in the cab, they're using a bunch of levers and things to pull these things and to make them work. All right, we got another one over here, right up here. Now it's gonna make more sense as we start going. But again, this is more detail, so if you don't want to do this, you don't have to. I just think it's very fascinating and fun. All right, so we got these on here. Now let's draw a little circle down here. It's gonna be a little connector right here because something's gonna operate and move that bucket. And we'll have it connect to the arm right there. And then we'll just connect these like that. And then we'll connect it to the bucket. That's about as much detail as I'll do on there. Now we're gonna start connecting stuff. So let's take it from this point right here. We're gonna connect it to this one right here. Like this. Now draw it lightly because we're gonna do the rest of it. So not only are we gonna have the lines here, so same thing over here. We're going to do a line. Let's do it. Wish I had a ruler. A ruler would be really handy right now. So we'll do that. And then there's going to be another one that's basically going to connect down to here. Just kind of a random spot down there. It's not that important, but we're going to make it go down to here. Okay, so now we got all the pieces connecting. Now what they do is instead of just being like a little cable, these are actually called hydraulic cylinders. So we're gonna make it a cylinder. To make it a cylinder, it's gotta be a rectangle, right? So we gotta do about, let's do about like that. So we'll draw a little rectangle and then we'll just erase, I'll just erase the inside there. Or you can just leave it there and you can color it black if you want later. But this would typically, I'm just gonna do it as a line to make it simple. But that would actually be a rod. So it would be dimensional too if you wanted to. Okay, so now we got to draw a line right here. And we got to connect it. Make another one right there. And we'll just kind of erase the middle. There we go. It's all starting to connect. And then we'll have another one of these right here. And we'll have that connect into here as well. All right, so you remember how I said that the arm is super strong? Well, it's strong because it uses hydraulics. In this case, it means that there's a liquid being pressurized to push something or to lift something really heavy. Okay, so do you see all these little tubes running through here and then these big cylinders? Those are called hydraulic cylinders. That liquid inside is called hydraulic fluid, and it's like a type of oil. There's a pump right back here in the cab that is forcing the oil through these little lines right here, these little hoses, creating a ton of force or power that allows this arm to move and lift some extremely heavy material. Isn't that wild? Okay, so are we happy with it? Okay, if we are happy with it, then we need to grab a marker or a pen or something like that, something dark that we can go ahead and we can start doing all of the final outlining before we go to color. So I'm gonna do that real quick. Take your time, do it slow and nice, and then we'll catch up right after and do some coloring. I'm done. Okay, so now that I have it all outlined, I'm gonna go ahead and I wanna do color, but before I do the color, if you have a big eraser, go through and just start erasing all of that stuff underneath, all that sketch, because the chances are it's kind of messy underneath there. So take a moment, just clean it up a little bit. You'll kind of find that it sometimes it takes a little more work if you write a little too hard. That's always my case. I draw a little hard. And you might find that to be the case with you too. So no worries, we can color it all, we can cover it all up with color if we need to. But go ahead and do this, and then let's go ahead and get out your markers. I got markers, or you can do crayons, you can do whatever you want to, maybe paint. However you want to color it, it's up to you. But let's go ahead and take a moment, color it, and then we'll catch up right after that. And there we go. Nice. Okay, so it's actually digging something. How fun is that? Oh, I cannot wait to see what yours look like. I'm sure it looks a lot different, and that's great because I want it to look different. You guys want your work to be yours. And that's why we're actually going to sign our work, because we're so proud of what we made. And ours is going to look a little different than everyone else's, and that's awesome. So let me go ahead and just put my name here at the bottom. And now I can officially call this excavator drawing completed. Thank you so much for drawing this amazing excavator with me. This has been a lot of fun, and again, I apologize for all the noises outside. Now, I didn't go into too much detail about hydraulics, so if you are really interested in how those actually work, there's a video in the link below that you should go check out. But stick around until the end to see some of the work that you all did. And if you want a chance for your artwork to be featured in my videos, just have your parents take a picture and send it to us via Instagram under our direct messages. Just send us a picture of your work, and there's a chance that it can be shown at the end of these videos or on our Instagram stories. And as always, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, I'll see you next time. But wait, one more thing before you leave. If you love drawing with me here in these videos, you are going to love our new book, The Nature Explorer's Drawing Guide for Kids. It's full of interesting facts and step-by-step instructions for drawing all kinds of plants, insects, and animals, helpful art tips, and even blank nature journal pages in the back for you to go outside and make your own discoveries. Check it out for yourself. You can find it anywhere online where books are sold.